time for a little bit of impact. I said it before and I'll say it again. I still hate that they have this show and then the next day the TNA Plus show. I just hate it. I know it's a stupid gripe. I know people are used to it. I know they don't have a problem with it. But for me personally, I can't stand it. Because there's no time to let any that's happened on this show really marinate. That's the thing that I've always hated about TNA when they do these plus shows. You don't have more than a day to process it, that it's supposed to mean something. But it doesn't feel like anything because there's not enough time. I know it's not necessary. I know I shouldn't be getting upset about it. But this is my gripe. I live with it. You guys, you got no problem, but I want you to understand that it feels like it should be more than a day or two. It should be on a Sunday, not a Friday. That's just me. Let me give it to you like this. After what I just said, did I think this show was bad? No. As it was a pretty good show. Now, did I agree with everything on this show that's going to be leading to Final Resolution? No. Not everything, no. But for the most part, it's pretty solid. A pretty solid card for a TNA Plus show. Not a pay-per-view, because you need a lot more than what they're giving here. But I'm going to say this now, it doesn't need to wait until the end of this review. If you look at the content that AEW's been giving and WWE's been giving, where AEW's been giving so many matches, and only this Dynamite did they give us at least a little bit more than what they normally do, and that's mainly due to World's End. And Winter is Coming. Well, basically Winter is Coming and then World's End. They're caring more about Winter's Coming than they are trying to make sure they build World's End properly. They only now gave us some somewhat okay content, where the rest of the content is still very confusing. Then you get WWE. And the only thing left they have is Saturday Night. Look, I'm going to be filming after this, and I may release it maybe Monday, because it will happen this Saturday night's main event on the 13th. I might release it either Friday or Monday. I haven't decided yet. The video I'm going to film right after this, which is my gump goodness on will Vince McMahon appear. My thoughts on it, not what the rumors are. Well, I will talk about the rumors, but my thoughts on Vince McMahon showing up at Saturday night's main event, the last show John Cena will ever wrestle in. Ever. Unless he's going to break his word and come back and do a one-off more. Like if the Saudi prince gives him a good chunk of money, like the Undertaker, he says, fuck it, why not? I'll do one more, and I'm going to get a big payday. He could. But if you look at WWE, what do they have left? Saturday night's main event. That's it. Other than, of course, Saturday, which is Deadline, but that's for NXT. That's the developmental, not for the main roster. Main roster's done. They're finished. They've filmed a couple of things, and we're probably just going to get some highlights of the entire year and anything that's happened. But essentially, the main roster is pretty much finished. They're just filming stuff for Christmas and New Year's. That's it. That's all we're going to probably get. I don't think we're going to get any more live events now. This show, the TNA, has been delivering more consistent content than just the same run-of-the-mill content that we've been getting from WWE. The same people doing the same things over again. Other than John Cena, other than him, we have had nothing new from WWE. It's just been consistently the same stuff. Even Jey Uso has legitimately become stagnant. And I've been one of the few people who believe Jey had worked hard to get where he was. And he did. But now he's stagnant. He's not really doing anything different. He's not. He's legitimately not pushing the envelope. And yes, he's gotten pissed and he's walked off. Because he lost to it wasn't Gunther. Who did he lose? LA Knight. I think he lost to LA Knight. Yeah. And now Gunther and LA Knight are going against each other. He gets pissed, walks off, and say maybe it's better that the Roman takes that spot. When I've said for years, let him be the tribal chief. That's Jay. That's where he should have been. But now we see this. We see TNA with this show leading the final retribution, which is the last show period for the year. Pretty much. Other than they film whatever they're going to film, no more Impact Plus shows. No more TNA show. TNA Plus shows. I keep getting Impact Plus TNA. I'm sorry. I'm slow. But you get my point. This lasts for anything substantial from TNA. And it wasn't bad. Let me give it to you like this. The matches we got 5 matches. I'm going to go through the matches and then we'll talk about the content. Briggs Jensen. I haven't seen him in so long, I forgot that he was still on the roster. Now, people said, oh, he was just taken off so they can do something with him. If that's true, why does he have a knee brace on? You want to answer that, guys? I said there was a reason he was gone. Either they released him, or, and I think maybe once I said it, but most of the time I thought he was released. I think I said maybe once, maybe he got hurt. Only once, because I thought they just released him. We now see him here. Whether he was released and brought back, or in this situation, he has a knee brace, I believe, on his right knee. He was injured. No matter what you say, he wasn't taken out of the culling because he was just going to be left so they can build him up. No, it looks like he might have been injured because he's wearing a knee brace when he never had one. So he went up against home. Let me give it to you like this. Do I like the hometown man? Yes, I do. Do I believe the gimmick is out of scene? No, I do not. But seeing that they're using the hometown man, who's popular in this situation, it's a little dubious to me personally seeing Lexis King there as the one who screwed the hometown man, stole Brooks Jensen. I don't know why I said Josh Briggs. Maybe I'd like to see Josh Briggs on TNA more than Briggs Jensen. I think that's what I really would like to see. I think I would like to see him go to TNA than stay on NXT. I think that would be better. But seeing Briggs Jensen really didn't feel important. Not because I don't think it couldn't be important, but he hasn't been important. He's been off TV, whether he's been injured, which it looks like he was, because he has a knee brace, I believe, on his right knee, or they just had no part for him because they made it all about Tatum Paxley than him, because remember, if you remember, so long ago, he was taken out by the culling, removed because he didn't have the stomach to do their job, and then maybe a month or two later, we get Tatum Paxley in the culling. They swapped her, and look what happened. People really do like Tatum. So he's been irrelevant until they did this bit. So he didn't feel important, even Alexis King, who has been on TV, saved him. Moving on. Let me give you like this next match. I'm going to be honest here. I didn't understand it. I did. You get Danny Luna versus a Xia Brookside. Whoever wins goes up against Ling Yang Lee. And if Xia won, she'll be going up against her Angel Warrior partner. But Danny Luna is the one who they've been building for a while. And we get this match where it wasn't bad. It's somewhat sloppy, but not bad. Not bad for either one of them. I always thought Danny Luna is a much superior wrestler than Xia Brookside. Nothing against Xia Brookside. I like Xia. But I thought Danny was a more developed wrestler than she is. And even have more character than she does. But you just made her get her ass kicked by Indy Hartwell. Because for some reason, Danny Luna, who knows this is her chance to go after Xia Brookside, decides to take out a chair and a chain ready to hit somebody. Indy comes out, interferes, punches her in the face with that damn chain, and Xia Brookside wins. And now Xia versus Ling Yang Lee, when I don't get it. You're going to say, it's perfect. You now have Indy going against Danny Luna. There's their feud. Here's the problem. It could have been done at Final Retribution. No, not Resolution. Sorry, Resolution. I get retribution resolution. Final resolution. Sorry. Guys, you could have done the same thing, but at final resolution. You could have let Zaya lose here. It wouldn't have hurt her. It wouldn't have hurt her to lose to Dani Luna. And you could have the same situation, and it actually would have meant something even more into their feud if you let her have this win and then go up against Ling Yang Lee, who could have gone and had a hard match with Dani Luna, but literally, at the end, you could still do the same thing and it would actually make their feud mean more. Because look what happened. Dani screwed over Indy. Indy was already pissed as it was. She doesn't interfere with the match between her and Zaya. Finally, at final resolution, they're having a match. The same thing plays out because Dani is Dani, but then Indy interferes. She screws her. Dani is outraged that she got screwed by Indy, and you could have made this much more important because now that was a loss, not just to get the opportunity at a title shot. It was the title shot. I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't get it. This did not need to happen. They could have done it at final resolution, not here. And it was a waste. And I'm not even against Zaya even having a shot at a title. No. Why here? Didn't need to happen. It's pissing me off. I'm sorry. It pisses me off. When you have booking that makes no sense. This made no sense whatsoever. Unless they're really going to do something special with Dani Luna next year. Because they've already had her as a face. I do not see her switching back to face to become champion. Unless they do something where she's going to be substantial next year. Maybe at Genesis. And it better be good because if it wasn't, this didn't make any sense whatsoever. They could have done this at the TNA Plus show. I'm sorry, moving on. Next match. We get Mr. Stone versus Santana, which wasn't even a match. They got a little bit of a fight outside the ring. The spin the block happens within about a minute or so, and the match is done. There is no match. Legitimately, the bell rang, you got a little bit of thrown around, and the spin the block came, and that ass got done. He got by one of my boys. Someone from my neck, from the Bronx, baby. But here's the thing. He's making it very clear. Tell all your boys, I'm coming. Demon time is here. I'm coming to get every last one of you. Now, let's make this very clear. Do I believe this is a bad decision? Yes. I'm sorry. I don't agree with it. I don't agree. I do not agree. After everything they did with Santana to get him to Bound for Glory, they took a month off, gave us 4 shows that didn't lead anywhere, didn't give us anything other than 2 documentaries and 2 shows that didn't need to air. You let him have his first night with that damn title on TV and he jobs. I do not agree with it. If this was more than 3 or 4 or 5 months after he lost his title, it would be alright. Seeing that he got screwed multiple times, but it was the first time. And you do this. And now he's going after everyone who involved himself in it. Like the system. Understandable. But this is right after something that was no different than Josh Alexander losing to Moose. And I didn't want to see that for Santana. If you don't remember, think about it for a minute. The very same thing that happened to him that way. The only difference is there was no call your shot gauntlet. There was none. This was just the same thing without the gauntlet title being the main reason Moose got it. It's because, remember, Kaz pretty much, he got his shot. I'm sorry, it just sucks. I do not agree with it. The only difference was you didn't see Santana's daughter in the ring along with his girlfriend or wife freaked out because their dad got nailed and then lost the title just after. You see, I'm spitting coming out. I'm angry. This is dumb. But I understand if it was 3, 4, 5 months ago, this will work fine. But it's barely a month later, and I don't agree. Moving on, Ali versus Trey Miguel. I'm going to tell you this. Seeing that the Rascals are having a feud with Order 4, it's a weak storyline. I'm being honest here. It's a weak storyline. Yes, the Rascals showed respect to the system, and now Order 4, after losing, are pissed, and they're taking that on the Rascals. It's alright, but it's a bit weak. It's a bit weak. But was this match bad? Hell no, it was a really good match. I liked it very much. In the end, I didn't expect Ali to lose here. He didn't. The question is, what are we going to get at Final Resolution when it comes to 4-on-4? Final match. We get Team TNA versus Team NXT. We got Stacks, King, and both High Rise. I'm going to tell you this. I didn't know who was going to win. And to be honest, I don't know if it really mattered. Now, mind you, we are still in a collaboration between WWE, Silver Lake, and TNA, Anthem. Yeah, I'm calling both their companies out. Anthem and Silver Lake. They're the ones who own them, but they are generally able to run the way they want unless the ones up here say, I want this. They don't care as long as this comes in. So at this time, the way the story has been going, because we haven't seen Deadline, that comes on Saturday, which I should be able to do my review of it, unless I'm not feeling well, which admittedly I have gotten a little bit of a cold. I haven't shown full signs of it. I know I have one. I'll be watching it. But was this match going to mean anything in Deadline? No. Will this match define TNA going into Final Resolution into the next year dealing with WWE? I could say yes to a certain extent, but then it feels like a short-term gain here because it depends on what really TNA and WWE are going to really do in 2026. How far are they going to be willing to collab instead of leaving WWE here and TNA here? Are they willing to bring them up a little bit more because of what's going on with AMC? And since we know that NXT won, which I don't know if that's going to really motivate anything going into next year or Deadline, let's talk about the beginning of the show. We got a vid pack of the very culprits of TNA starting over in 2024. Almost everybody there except for Trinity and Jordan Grace, of course. We have everybody else generally. They open up the box, as you know, the chest, and we get the lights, we get the glamour, we get everything, and now AMC is the new home of TNA. And I'm not saying it's bad either. They now have a new home. They're not going to be on Destination America. They're not going to be on Anthem, unless there's still a deal that Anthem's still going to show them. It's AMC, which is a more substantial company, more substantial network than Anthem is. It is. No matter what you think, AMC is much more substantial. So it's great. So the question's going to be, what are we going to get? There's still the question, are they going to still do Explosion or any content on YouTube yet? We still don't know that yet. We don't know if they're going to do exclusive stuff only for AMC. They may do that. And if they do, what happens to their YouTube channel? That's going to be a question. Other than maybe the old content they can keep putting up from 2002 all the way in 2010 to 13, any new content is going to be the big question. It counts on the contract. Next, let me give you like this. The Treehouse. Did we see some crazy mess there? Yes, we did. We saw some crazy mess with all four culprits of Myron Reed. We see a little bit of Trey being feeling a little uncomfortable about Mr. Wesley, who's not Wesley, which is Desmond Xavier, and they're saying Wentz is saying that you were Wes. Wes, it's you. And he said, I don't remember anything that. Where did that come from? Corporate decision. And he said, oh, they addressed it. But then they do their, like that mess up and they're happy again. Fine. I'm not against the Rascals still doing the Treehouse. It's just their stick. It just counts and they're going to still be funny. Now, what was funny was the Penthouse segment of First Class. Let's make this very clear. That was good. I enjoyed it. Seeing AJ Francis being confronted by Leon Slater saying that your throat is giving off toxic waste that your ass can't cover. In other words, even your farts can't make your breath smell better. And pretty much everyone was, you see a little bit of Mr. Swanee putting up his glass like, shit, he went there? Yes, he did. And to AJ Francis, I'm bumping. And he took some gum from a little bit of Rich Swann. Did Leon talk well? Yes, he did. And I've said this myself. If you compare Devon Evans to Leon Slater, Devon Evans, he was around people that were a lot more better than himself. And I've never took anything away from him as a high-flying wrestler. He's actually improved as a high-flying wrestler because he's gone up against a lot of people. When it comes to character and the way to talk, he had no charisma. He just didn't. He can talk well, but there was nothing behind it. Then you look at Leon Slater. If you look at Leon compared to Devon, where Leon was here as a high-flying wrestler, but he had not gone up against really high-caliber wrestlers, Devon was here because he went up against more caliber wrestlers than were on TNA. But as a talker, with charisma, the boy had it. He has more charisma than Devon Evans at the time when he came in 2 years ago. Now Devon has charisma now. Is it great charisma? Is it better than Leon? No, actually it's almost on par with Leon's. But Leon Slater is a very charismatic guy. Now, seeing that Rich Swann did not want to nail him with the title because Mr. Francis wanted to lay his ass out, but did not happen. That's going to be the big question, what's going to happen in the final resolution. Will we see the resolution of Rich Swann leaving First Class and either working with Leon Slater for a little while or a returning Casey Navarro? Because we don't know when he's fully recovered. It's been many, many months since he's been gone. So we do not know when he'll come back. Probably next year he will come back. And that is when we'll see him maybe work with maybe either... Do I believe he's going to be working with Slater or Rich Swann? I think he'll probably work with Rich Swann to deal with AJ Francis, how badly he treated him. So I do believe that's going to be, if it's not here, where Devon Evans convinced Rich Swann to turn away from the dark side. But it's still a big question. I don't know yet. Okay. Let's put this in perspective. The last two things I'm going to talk about. Let me give it to you like this. Knowing that the system is looking for someone new, not a problem. I'm actually happy to see they're going to put someone into place for JDC. There's nothing wrong with it. The question is who? Will it be a former NXT star? Will it be a former AEW star? Will it be someone we've never seen before? Don't know. But it will be someone hopefully that can give the team something extra. And hopefully they can get over as well. But the thing that I like the most out of the entire show is Johnny Curtis's video. Now, I don't know if anybody else is going to agree with me, but for me personally, when you see Johnny Curtis, this wasn't the Fandango or Breezango when he was with Tyler Breeze. And this is not even Dirty Dango or just Dango. This was Johnny Curtis. The actual guy is the actual wrestler who's about to retire. And he made it very clear. Look, I worked 27 years in this business. And I have lived my life and I'm happy. I'm retiring. I still feel apprehensive, but I'm cool. when it comes to what you just did, he even said you cut a promo on me talking the way you were about the glamour and the glam and my star power. Have you gone to WrestleMania, Kaz? And he made it clear this is not about me doing WrestleMania, which he did. He managed to beat Chris Jericho in his WrestleMania. I'm not saying that's right or not. That's what he said. I'm not saying I want to go there, which I don't. I'm saying it with the Chris Jericho. He didn't say it. But the point is, this is not about that. I respected you. You started, and he went to Killer Kowalski. That's what Dango did. He went and killed Kowalski, just like Kaz did, just like Eddie Edwards did. They went through Killer Kowalski. They went through his school before he passed away. And the key here to him was, look, you started before me. I respect you. I looked up to you. And you used my wife, calling her my handler. The reason I'm not wrestling anymore because of my handler, my wife. Dude, that's it. I'm done. I never went there with you and your wife. Why are you going there with my wife? Right now, when final resolution happens, you're not going to see, in my perspective, we're not going to see Fandango in early 2000s. We're not going to see Breeze Dango with Tyler Breeze in 2016. We're not going to see Dirty Dango with Kozlov and Alpha Bravo or the JDC of the system. I think this will be the first time we're going to see Johnny Curtis. And hopefully we do. I want to see him as the original wrestler that went to Killer Kowalski, who had, not that he didn't have a character, but just a guy. Because this is the last real match he's going to be doing next to what he's going to do until Genesis. I want to see him. I want to see the man, Johnny Curtis, give raw emotion. 27 years in the business, you usually exaggerate your emotions or show some other type of character. That's not you. I want to see a guy who wrestled 27 years in the business hear his wife being insulted, and it's a guy he's known for years that he respected, that he liked, and then insulted his wife, and now he want to kick that ass. That's what I want to see. So, this was the best segment for me personally. Okay show. But I still don't like it as 1 day 2 final resolution, but I will give it what it is. And I hope you enjoy this TNA Impact. Give me a comment below. I got a video to do. I got at least one video to do for Gump Goodness. You should see it either tomorrow or Monday. Peace.